I knew that if I didn't get out of here,
Yeah.
there was no real future for me.
Gotcha.
You know, I knew it was going to end up bad.
Gotcha.
I couldn't process my emotions then. I couldn't process everything that I was dealing with at the time. That's what creates more issues, because there's an issue there that is not being dealt with. They don't know what to say to you. They want to hand you a drink. They want to say, hey, here's some weed, let's smoke. Because of my relationship now developed with God and my faith, I was able to deal with that. God put that in me because there was a purpose and destiny here in New York. Having a community of believers around you. That's why being a Christian changes everything. Because it was mental health. It affected my mental health, right? So I went through the depression. I was having panic attacks, right? But I didn't know what it was. Something that when your dad speaks to you, it impacts you a certain way. It's soothing. And he's said that the Lord has put it on his heart that you need to be ordained as a minister. And I was like...
Not me.
Honestly, I was like... I felt like I just wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I saw where there was a window, there was an area that needed to be developed because everyone wanted to be an artist. The name Kingdom Time derived from the last sermon that I preached at the same church that I was ordained in.
Gotcha.
It was, the title of the message was, it's Kingdom Time. Kingdom Time was about pushing an urban kingdom movement that would impact this generation with the gospel, you know, and make the church appealing to them.
This is James Rousseau, a.k.a. Trig, and let me welcome you to the Corling Solutions Show. Welcome today, Marcus Hall, CEO and founder of Kingdom Time Entertainment. Let me give him a proper introduction. He's a minister, a visionary, an event curator who has been at the forefront of urban outreach since 2006. My boy has receipts. From Higher Calling to the Kingdom Choice Awards, he's built platforms that inspire, connect, and elevate Christian hip-hop and urban gospel culture. He's also an accomplished filmmaker, having directed the feature documentary V-Rocket International, which is streamed worldwide. His work bridges ministry, creativity, and cultural influence. My bro, Marcus Hall.
Hey, what's going on?
What's good, bro? It's good to have you in the house finally.
Man, it's an honor to be here live in Holy Culture Radio Studios. Y'all pulled up. I'm like, yo, this is a Tyler Perry moment right now.
Yeah, get out of here, man.
You know what I'm saying? Trick about to have his signs pointing and signs on the highway.
Get out of here, bro.
I love it, man. It's great. Great to be here.
Good to have you, bro. It's been good. Good to work together more closely over the last year, man.
Definitely.
So I was asked the same question, bro. What's one thing you can share that those closest to you would be surprised to hear? Like they don't know.
Wow, those closest
to you would say, hey, man, how did you never tell me that?
Wow, that's a... Wow.
Yeah.
Never thought about something like... All right, I don't like horror movies.
You don't like horror movies?
Yeah.
Like, don't like meaning you don't select it first or you turn it off for somebody else or walk out the room?
Yeah, I just don't watch horror movies, period.
Is that right?
Yeah, never.
Huh.
Like on Netflix, Prime, anything streaming, I don't even look at the horror.
Got it. Has this been a thing since childhood or like?
Funny enough, as a kid, I watched a lot of horror movies like Nightmare on Elm Street,
right.
You know, all of that stuff. But
so what happened? Was there a moment?
I can't even. It was just as I got older, it was just like.
Is that they bore you?
It just there's nothing about it, but like
counter your walk. I mean, I want to know, man, what happened? Like,
you know what? I just never. It was just something where I was like, I'm just not into it. Like, why am I going to watch a movie to either be scared or to be angered? Like, if you watch like Final Destination,
yes,
I'll be annoyed watching it because I'm like, or watching some of these horror movies, like, yo, bro, why don't you run? You know what I'm saying? Or,
you sound like my wife. You sound like my wife. My wife says, don't insult my intelligence.
Right.
Right?
Exactly. So, like, I think that was one of the things where I'm like, I can't watch these no more because the guy's always standing there just getting killed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or makes a dumb turn or doesn't move or it just doesn't.
Falls over.
It's nonsensical. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Tell everyone, man, a little bit about, like, Marcus Hall. What are some of the early beginnings, man, of Marcus Hall?
Before Christ or in Christ?
Yeah, before Christ. Yeah, even.
Well, I was, born in England, raised by my Jamaican grandparents. I put in the Jamaican in there because some people often pick up little Jamaican things in me.
Like your attitude sometimes?
Right. Right.
Marcus, kick rocks.
Right. And they be like, yo, where'd that come from? But that's what it is. Heavily cultured in my Jamaican heritage.
What part of England?
I was born in Manchester. I grew up in Nottingham, which is a city in the East Midlands, in the Midlands area.
Okay.
Just grew up. My grandmother was a devout Christian, a member of our local church, Full Gospel Revival, heavily West Indian. And so as a kid, that's where the seeds were planted as a child.
Gotcha.
At the same time, my dad was heavily involved in music. And he was in the street.
Yeah.
But heavily involved in sound system culture, Jamaican sound system culture. He's a sound engineer up to this day.
Yeah.
As one of the biggest PA systems in the UK. So I grew up. That was an influence on me as well.
When you so let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What age were you when you left the UK?
I was about 20 officially.
Oh wow!
But
so
I was coming
adult.
back and forth.
Okay.
From New York was always the second home to me from like 8 years old. I'd be coming out here spending the whole summer.
Yeah.
And I always knew that eventually this is where I would reside permanently.
Got it. So I've been to the UK a few times, right? And I think when you're from America and you get to the UK, I think the typical is coming through the airport as an experience.
Yeah.
Seeing the big eye, right? Seeing certain things, getting some of the cultural food and whatnot, and then starting to learn a little bit about the history. Right?
Yeah.
But I think you only get so far when you come every now and then. Yeah. When you think about UK's history, particularly with the integration from people from other continents and whatnot, like what comes to mind for you in terms of like how that culture really operates?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's a long history because when you're talking about you're talking from the 50s, Jamaicans, the doors were open because England was considered the motherland for Jamaica. Right. And so Jamaicans came there heavily in the 50s, and the culture, Caribbean culture, especially in Jamaican culture, over the years, has had a huge impact and influence on UK society. Like you'll have, Caucasian guys using Jamaican terminology without even knowing, or
what the blood,
right? But not realizing, hey, that's actually Jamaican, right? Patois. Right. It derives from Jamaican patois, and then also when you're talking about reggae music itself, reggae music. Back in the day, the producers from Jamaica used to send their music to England first, and it would be released in the UK first before it would be released in Jamaica.
Why is that?
Because there was money to be made. So then when they would distribute it in England through various distributors like Greensleeves and others, they would make money from their music. So it made business sense to send it to England first. They're going to buy the records, and we're going to make money.
Did that create tension in the Jamaican market?
No. Okay. It really boosted the Jamaican market because it added revenue because the money was coming back home. Gotcha. And there was more opportunities being presented to homegrown talent.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, as I said, the infusion of, obviously there was the racism that early Jamaicans had to deal with. Some of that is played out in my documentary, which addresses why sound system culture became so dominant and where it stemmed from in the UK, because there were nowhere for Caribbean or Black Caribbeans to go to. There wasn't allowed in the pubs. There wasn't allowed in the clubs. So they had to create their own forms of entertainment, which started in what they called the blues parties, which were basically house parties.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So is it much different now, more integrated, or is it still kind of it's much more integrated?
Yeah, now? Most definitely.
How often you go back?
I usually go back every year.
Okay.
At least once a year.
And such there?
Yeah, my dad still lives there, my brothers are there.
Got it.
Got childhood friends.
Got it. So then what made you come to the US?
Well, I always loved New York. As I said, as a kid, I'd be coming here spending summers. And then when I go back to England, I'll be like, I don't belong here. You know what I mean?
What felt different? What made you feel that way?
You know, I think it was more so the richness of Black culture in New York City, especially. I mean, I'm coming up in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, when I remember like as a kid, 7 years old, coming to New York for the first time, and the bus drivers are Black, the guy selling the ice cream in the store is Black. You know, the train drivers are Black.
Right.
Totally different from
not seen in England.
Exactly. You go to the bank, the teller's Black.
Right.
And I'm like, wow. You know, so that's had an impact on me as a child. And then, you know, going back to England, he was just like, okay. So I always had a sense of not belonging.
Yeah.
You know, and coming to New York as a child gave me a sense of belonging. So that's what it was. It was really, but now, you know, obviously looking back into it, God put that in me.
Yeah.
Because there was a purpose and destiny here in New York.
How'd you find that purpose and destiny?
I mean, obviously it was after giving my life to the Lord. And that was a whole situation. Not really, the journey of that started when my grandmother died. Because that was a huge blow to my life. Because, you know, I was with her when she passed, and she said her last few words to me.
Yeah.
And that really, that was a breaking point in my life. I was broken. And that's when I started to look to God more, you know, because it's like, I guess the seeds of what she planted in me as a kid.
Yeah.
Now.
It kind of bubbled up.
Because I was in such despair that I needed him.
Yeah.
I needed God.
How
I
old
needed
were you
something. I was only, 19?
19.
Yeah.
Here. You were here or
No,
still in
I was
England?
in England, And, rocked my world, man. And there was so many things that followed that because she was the main caregiver to my grandfather, who was ailing at the time. He had multiple strokes, totally dependent. You know what I mean? And then I ended up having to take care of my two brothers as well.
Gotcha. How old were they?
They were at the time like 9 and 11.
So you're a 19-year-old caring for two siblings.
And my grandfather.
And your grandfather. Gotcha. Where was your mom and dad?
Well, my mom, she left from I was 3, so we didn't really have a close relationship. My dad was doing time.
Okay.
And then my brother's mother, she got in trouble.
So grandmom was she was leading the home.
Right, but my brothers were with their mother at the time, but she got into some trouble.
Gotcha.
So now it was like, okay, well, what happens to them?
England was not popping.
Oh, no, not at all. It was a rough life.
It was rough.
So I ended up with them. And again, overnight, I went from this happy-go-lucky, doing what I do, doing my own thing, to, wow, a world of responsibility. And on top of that, I'm grieving. Yeah. It was a lot to take on. So, you know, that really just pointed me like, you know, I gotta, you know, it really made me look to God. Yeah. And, I mean, it didn't happen overnight because I was living a certain lifestyle at the time. And, but that's what initiated. I'm telling you, Trick, I would wake up every morning and the first thing that would come to my head, I got to get out. I got to get out. And eventually I made the move. I called
when you say get out of this kind of family nucleus and whatnot, or get out of the country? Like what?
You know what it was? It was get out of this life that I'm in. Get out of this. I mean, it wasn't so much the family nucleus. It was just like, I knew that if I didn't get out of here, there was no real future for me. Gotcha. You know, I knew it was going to end up bad. Gotcha. And that's what it was. And that burden was just so heavy on me. Yeah. And I became depressed. And I didn't even know that it was depression that I was dealing with. You know what I mean? And I was really in a deep depression. But I just knew, now I know that was God saying, time to go.
So let's double click on that for a second, right? Because you talked about grieving and how that worked, right? If you could think about where you are now and where you were then, like how would you describe that grieving process you went through and how you would try to approach it differently now?
Yeah. Well, then I never had a relationship with God. So um even though I knew him, I knew who God was, but then it was just like I couldn't process my emotions then as well, because I was fairly young. So it's like I couldn't process everything that I was dealing with at the time.
Gotcha.
But like moving, fast forward to now.
Yeah.
I lost my daughter almost 2 years ago.
I'm so sorry, man.
Yeah, and still processing that grief. But I was because of my relationship now developed with God and my faith.
Yeah.
I was able to deal with that in a way where I didn't fall into a depression.
Got it.
I was grieving.
Got it.
I'm still grieving. I still have my moments of grief.
What do you think you did differently
From then
to not fall into that state of depression?
I just leaned in on God's word. I leaned in prayer. The community that I had around me, that makes a big difference.
Absolutely.
If you're living a certain lifestyle and you're surrounded by certain people, they don't know what to say to you. They want to hand you a drink. They want to say, hey, here's some weed. Let's smoke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or, yo, let's go to the party. Let's dance this thing away.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they have nothing to impart into your soul, into your heart. You know what I'm saying? And having a community of believers around you. That's why being a Christian changes everything. Because when you become a part of the body of Christ,
right?
There's so much support that comes that you need in times of trials and tribulations. So you can have the people who are praying for you, number one.
Right.
You can have a community. You can have people who are ministering directly to you. You may have a need, and the community will come around and say, hey, here, we're giving you help.
Yeah.
And that's the difference.
I think, man, I wonder if, if this resonates with you. When I hear you say that, it almost takes me back a few layers to how we were taught or not taught as men to deal with, let's just call it, I'm going to use a broad term of just mental health.
Right.
Whether they're issues or in the moment challenges, right? I'm not sure, not that we have, well, I think in some cases we could have avoided them, right? Because you kind of told the man up, buck up, right? But what you almost described almost feels like, man, there's a hole in the wall and there's two approaches you could take. One is, let's figure out how the hole got created and let's look for a long-term solution. The other is, man, just slap some drywall tape up on there, you know what I mean? Put the spackle on it, repaint it.
Yep.
Forget how it got there. We don't want to belabor it. Right?
Yeah.
And the latter is not long-term help.
No, it actually, that's what creates more issues, because there's an issue there that is not being dealt with and it's being covered.
Right.
And it didn't go nowhere.
Right.
And guess what happens? Usually when you do a job like that, what happens?
Shows up again later.
It shows up again.
And
it's actually worse.
That's right.
And it's harder to fix.
Something grew behind the hole.
Exactly. Right? Now you got mold.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. So did you feel that later in life? Did you feel that lack of proper grieving and such show up in other ways that you had to deal with later?
Yeah. I believe that showed up in, because it was mental health. It affected my mental health, right? So I went through the depression. I was having panic attacks, right? But I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what was happening. I thought I just had a bad heart. I thought I was just going to die and have a heart attack. I went to the emergency room how many times, like, hey, I'm having a heart attack.
Right.
And they'd be like, did you smoke anything? Did you take any drugs? I just smoked some weed. Yeah, well, maybe that's why your heart's palpitating.
Yeah.
But later down in life, I had to realize, I realized the effects that it had on me long term.
Yep.
The anxiety when I identified what it was. It affected how I dealt with people. It affected how I moved in crowds at times.
Say more. What do you mean by that? How you move in crowds? What do you mean by that?
I could be an introvert at times, and when I'm in a place where there's a lot of people, it could create some anxiety.
Got it.
And I believe that stemmed from the anxiety that I was dealing with before that I didn't know was anxiety. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So all of that has took time
Was this do you think was it based around trust of people, or how would you describe it?
It was definitely trust. And there's other things that, I could say attributed to that. My mom leaving when I was 3.
Yeah.
And then not really developing a strong relationship, because when my grandmother died, obviously my mom came, and I remember the day when she came, and it was like she kind of gave me this hug, but it made it worse. Because I'm like, you're my mom, but you just don't know how to love me because she didn't raise me. And I've lost the woman of my life. And you're making it worse right now because you cannot fill that void.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, there was like rejection, thing, as I started to grow older, and you're just thinking like, I felt like, why did my mom leave me at 3?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you leave me at 3 years old? Like, just wake up one day and tell me and my dad, told my dad, well, you and Marcus can go to your mom's. And don't get me wrong, I was never bitter. I grew past that.
Yep.
But the rejection side of it, had a long-term effect. And then going through other things that added to that, like the first time I experienced church hurt from a leader.
Right.
Those things affected me in a way where I would always hold, I'd always place a barrier between me and leadership, because there was always that thing of, you can hurt me.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to allow you to. I'm not going to give you
I don't want to be vulnerable.
Yeah. I'm not going to give you the space. I'm not going to get close enough to you. I'm not going to even expect too much from you, because I'm never going to be hurt like that again.
Right.
And I'm not going to deal with that level
I'm not going to put
rejection.
myself out there. I'm going to,
Right.
I got
exactly.
it. Do you think that still shows up for you today a little bit?
Sometimes. Yeah. It does. Even recently I had to really do some introspection.
That's good.
And be like, you know what, this is what it is. That's still lingering a little bit.
Yeah.
Where there's like leadership, I'm like, I hold you at bay. Like,
I'm watching
you. I see that little thing in you.
Yeah.
I'm not playing around. And you kind of get ready. You kind of already, planning your exit route.
Right.
And it's not healthy.
It's
not healthy.
Yeah. But I think, one of the things that, I just want to affirm, man, for you, give you credit, is that you're super aware, right, of your mental health, the need to manage it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's such a great place to be, because sometimes we have no self-awareness.
You're right. Totally.
Right. It's like a foreign language. What do you mean? Be introspective. Like you just said. What do you mean? Know myself. What do you mean? Be conscious of communications. What do you mean? Be thoughtful about relationships and managing those. You know what I mean? So tons of credit, man. That's so good.
Yeah.
That's so
God
good.
for that.
Let me ask you this: when you talk and have conversations with your father, and it's not like when we talk to our dads. I lost my dad way too early, but with my son, as an example, I feel sometimes you never call it a manhood conversations, but you have manhood conversations.
Yeah.
Right. Certain topics and things that happen, or certain situations where it is not just about that situation. It is a manhood conversation.
Yeah.
What are those conversations like now, given you've moved from England, you're in a total different culture.
Yeah.
He is still in a monarchy, right? You're in a democracy.
Right.
At least we call it democracy.
Yeah.
Right?
For now.
And so what are those conversations like?
Over the years, we've had some really great conversations. Like, there's been times, obviously, as I'm growing in my marriage and growing in fatherhood, and running into issues like with, my kids, right? And I'd call him and be like, hey, this is what I'm dealing with. I'm not having it. And I'm kind of going off.
Yeah.
And my dad was a hothead.
Yeah.
As a kid. But from his experience as a father, and growing in wisdom, my dad has calmed me down a few times, and I'm like, you would have knocked all of my teeth out if that was me. But hearing him say, don't let that sweat, don't let that get to you.
Yes.
Take your time.
Yes.
Give yourself some space. revisit it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
It's not that serious. They're just going through a little phase right now. And it was like, wait, hold on a second. Like, is this? But it was helpful to hear my dad, because it's something that when your dad speaks to you,
indeed,
you know,
indeed.
It impacts you a certain way. It has an impact on you, and it's soothing.
Yeah. My son hasn't used those words, but he's communicated things to me that has, in moments where we've talked, or sometimes just to be there and hear him.
Yeah.
Be able to just, you know, a couple weeks ago, I was coming back from, I think, Atlanta, and I was in the airport in Nashville, and he called, and I just walked into a corner and just listened to him for about 12, 15 minutes, right? And it's different. That ear for him is different, right? Yes. And I'll be honest, I feel like I'm still learning so much, because having lost my dad at 19 or so, right? I went into this kind of cave of, I didn't have his affirmation, never thought I had it.
Yeah.
And so I just performed. Right? And that became my affirmation chasing, and didn't realize it until years later in therapy. You dig what I'm saying? And so part of me has to consciously try to be what I didn't see. Right.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So I could appreciate what you're saying, man. I could totally appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good, bro. That's good. How do your siblings, where are they at?
What do you mean, how?
Yeah, are they still in England?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a brother in Canada, and the rest of them are in England.
And same thing. How do they feel about you being here in this culture, what you do?
Yeah, my brothers all look up to me, because I'm the big bro.
You're the big bro.
You know, I'm the firstborn.
Yeah.
But I'm a huge inspiration to them. You know, when they have issues, you know, they'll call. Yeah. You know, and I'll minister to them and share wisdom. You know, and we're close. You know, my brothers, we're close, and but they have a tremendous amount of respect for me. They're proud of me. And I think what they respect about me as well is that, yes, they know that my life has changed. And, you know, some of them, then they're not there yet, but they respect the fact that I'm not Bible bashing them all the time. You know what I'm saying? I let my life testify to them. But I can still chill. We can still talk. Yeah. You know, if they're wrong, I'm going to call them out on it. If they need advice, they know who to call. Yes. You know what I mean? Yes. And it's just that love and that respect. Yeah.
That's good. When did you take on the title of Minister Marcus, and what led to that?
Yeah, that was really came from the first church that I served in, Gideon Outreach. I was ordained there as a minister. I remember when the pastor's wife called me and said, you know, Pastor was in prayer, and he said that the Lord has put it on his heart that you need to be ordained as a minister. And I was like,
not me.
Honestly, I was like, I felt like I just wasn't ready.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, that same evening, Bishop Jakes, I used to watch Potter's House every evening in my early walk with the Lord. And he was sharing, and he said, I've been in ministry 27 years, whatever. And he said, when God called me to ministry, I said, I wasn't ready, Lord. You finish with me first, and then use me.
Right.
And he said, I've been in ministry for 27 years plus whatever. And he said, guess what?
Still not done.
God still ain't finished working on me. And that was such an encouragement to me, because that made me put down my guard.
Yeah.
You know, deny myself.
Right.
And was like, okay, Lord, I surrender to your will. So that's how the whole minister thing came about. People just started to refer to me as Minister Marcus, and shortly after that, I started like doing the higher calling, and it was Minister Marcus, and it just stuck. Yeah, that church, obviously, I left there after a while, but the name never really left. You got some people like, even though I don't like, if I'm putting my name on something, I'll put it Marcus Hall. I never put Minister Marcus Hall. Yeah, you know, but it's just kind of stuck with me.
That's good, bro. What inspired you to create Kingdom Time Entertainment?
What inspired me to create Kingdom Time is when I started doing higher calling, which I started that under a name, Kingdom Believers Soul Winner Ministries.
Gotcha.
Right, and that was really based on, we used to do a lot of outreach, like grassroots outreach, preaching through a bullhorn on the street.
Gotcha.
So when I started the higher calling, the vision was to do a outreach concert using Christian hip hop artists.
Gotcha.
So when I started that, I'm sorry, I lost the train of thought. What was the question?
What inspires you? Kingdom Time
Yes.
Entertainment.
So when I started doing the outreach and getting affiliated with all the Christian hip hop artists, the local Christian hip hop artists, and building relationships with them, I started to see the hardship that they were dealing with as artists, because especially at that time, like, they were being rejected from the church.
Yeah.
Very few local churches were really embracing the movement, and the mainstream was like, y'all are talking about Jesus, get out of here.
Right.
And then at that time, artists would be putting out their albums, printing like 1,000 CDs, and some of them, most of them still got some of them CDs to this day. You know what I'm saying?
Right, absolutely.
And it was just hard. And I saw where there was a window, there was an area that needed to be developed, because everyone wanted to be an artist.
Absolutely.
But where were the managers?
Right.
Where were the videographers? It just needed more. So I said, you know what? I want to create Kingdom Time Entertainment as a visionary and provide services for the artists, like management, video production, promotion. And that's how I started Kingdom Time Entertainment. And,
that's good.
Yeah.
How do you when somebody asks you about Kingdom Time, I know for you it's more than entertainment.
Yeah.
What is it for you?
It's a ministry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kingdom Time is a ministry. The name Kingdom Time derived from the last sermon that I preached at the same church that I was ordained in.
Gotcha.
It was, the title of the message was "It's Kingdom Time."
Gotcha.
You know, and it was really it came from the parable of the wheat and tare.
Gotcha.
So yeah, but yeah, it's a ministry. It was a ministry because that's how I always look at Christian hip hop.
Absolutely.
Even though it's become more than just a ministry, it's an industry now.
Absolutely.
And a growing industry.
Absolutely.
But for me, it was always about a ministry. Christian hip hop, urban gospel, urban kingdom culture.
Right.
To me, it was a ministry that is developed, that God raised up to impact what I call this hip hop generation. You know, because as you and I both know, hip hop is more than just a genre of music.
Absolutely.
You know, it is a culture that is basically teaching many of our youth, not just urban youth, suburban youth as well, how to live, how to dress, how to speak, you know, how to, you know, resolve issues violently. You know what I'm saying? And
absolutely.
You know, so for me, Kingdom Time was about pushing an urban kingdom movement that would impact this generation with the gospel, you know, and make the church appealing to them. You know, I always used to say, you can't preach a high def 4K, 6K gospel. I mean, you can't preach a Betamax gospel.
A BMX gospel,
to a 4K.
That's what they used to hear,
6K, right? You know what I'm saying? They can't relate.
They can't relate.
Like you give a kid now a VCR and a cassette. Like, what do I do with this?
Right.
You know, and so that's what it is. It's, for me, it's about a ministry that makes the kingdom, that makes the church, that makes the message of the gospel appealing and relative to this generation.
And you've worked with a lot of people, man. I mean, when you look back at Higher Calling, KCA's, all the work you've done, music videos for people and whatnot, what are some of the proudest and pivotal moments, man, in your run? I mean, I mean, Kingdom Time alone, that was 2006. So you coming up on 20 years. Yeah. Right? What's some of the proudest and most pivotal moments to you?
I would say the very first KCA, because it was a vision and it was something that hadn't been done, especially on this side of town, and the way that we were doing it. And I'll tell you this, Trig, we went into this, I approached the KCA, the first KCA, like it was a higher calling. Get your lineup, get your flyer, get your lineup, promote, get your venue, and hey, we're just gonna do it.
Let's go.
On that day, when I realized, no, this ain't no higher calling.
Right.
You got category videos that need to be played on time. Everything's queued. You know, you got trophies that needed. I didn't even have a trophy person to hand the trophies. Like, I lost about 10 pounds at that event.
Just running around.
Running. And there was a couple people. I remember Gerald Yarborough was there and Barack. They kind of like saw what was going on. And Gerald was like, I got the trophies, bro.
Got you.
But we made it out of the event.
Yeah.
Richard Dolphin was the host. He was the hardest coordinator. He was a bunch of things. And but at the end of the night, when we made it to the end of the night, and I walked out on the stage, thanked everybody, and seeing the awe and just the excitement of those who was in attendance, that was a very proud moment. Like I was like, wow.
Yeah, that's good.
That was awesome. And then, you know, higher calling, I think it was the second year or the third year, there was a powerful move of God, man. I remember, you know, I was doing the altar call, but before I got up there, God said, share your testimony. I was like, okay, cool. And he said, no, share your testimony. Like everything. The part, you know, everyone's got a part of their testimony that they don't share. They hide that part. He said, no, I'm talking from day one, where you were born, what the circumstances were. You share it. I'm like, wow. We're in the middle of Brooklyn, in Bedford-Stuyvesant, where Biggie and Jay come from. Yeah. Outside in the park, there's a ton of people here who I don't know, and I'm about to let them all have it. And I remember I started, and I just felt the presence of God so heavy. And I shared, I'm like, the people who were there in the amphitheater, most of them were like people from the community. Right. And called the altar call. And Trig, I'll tell you this, I don't know where they came from. It was almost like they were in the park, but on the outskirts of the park or in buildings nearby. And people just started coming. It was so powerful, man. That's good. And that was one of the moments where I was like, wow. That's good. God, like, is using what we're doing. And it was powerful. Yeah. Powerful.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. When you think about now putting together an event, what's your approach?
My approach, it depends on what kind of event. But for the most part, obviously, you know, it starts with the vision. You know, you have the vision for the event. My approach is always to present the event in excellence, right? So I'm talking from the flyer, the rollout of the promotion. Yeah. Because, and I think this is something I developed over the years from a few things. GL360 is a company in the UK. Right. CEO Roger Moore. Roger. Yeah. Yeah. He was a big inspiration for me when I was starting, because at the time he was doing GL Live in the UK, and he was bringing like Lecrae, The Truth, all of them guys. But his presentation of his events, like from his flyers and like the way that he would have his film crew film some of the stuff, it was just so clean. It was excellent. It made me, who was here in New York City, it made me look at this stuff and be like, I want to go to that. Yeah. So that was always my approach to it. I always, you know, wanted to present excellence, present something that looks good. Even the event itself, right? Make sure your sound is right. I'm big on sound. I used to hate going to Christian events and the sound was just poor quality.
Not hip hop.
Yeah, not at all. So yeah, but that's my approach, to present, you know, good imagery, promote it well. And as I said, being in New York, what developed me like to really push the marketing is that New York's not somewhere where you could just put out a flyer. Right. And say, hey, this is going on, and everybody gets excited.
Like, 10 other things are going on.
Yeah, 10, try 100. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like really marketing and pushing material, promotional material, to make it a big deal. Like, if you don't think it's a big deal, I'm going to make it a big deal. So if you decide that you don't want to come, you just don't want to come. Right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's it. Like just pushing, marketing, promoting, and striving for excellence in every area of the event.
You know, one of the things I just thought about, man, because I'm I'm steeped in right now a little bit of CHH legacy.
Right. Yes.
And that
a little bit.
well, no, I mean, I mean, in terms of trying to make it more visible.
You're right.
To people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I think you have to dig.
Yeah.
And right now, there's not a spot you can go to see like the lineage and the generations. You know what I mean?
Right.
Except the Mic Drop movie. Right.
Yeah,
Shout out to Darius.
Yeah.
But I just been thinking through how do we bubble it up again? And Delight does a great job too on old school sounds, right? But we want to bubble up the legacy. And what I was thinking about is in your early goings, it was probably the same time that they were beginning to like ramp down Rap Fest.
Yeah.
Did you overlap with them?
Yep. When I was coming in, I promoted my first higher calling. I'm at Rap Fest.
At Rap Fest.
Yes.
Got
flying it.
Got it.
You know, I didn't know Bert. I didn't know nobody at the time.
Right.
It was in the Bronx somewhere. At that time, it was like in a parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that year Richie Righteous was on.
Yeah. On the side, the parking lot on the side of the church.
Yes.
Yes. Man. Yeah.
So yeah.
That's awesome. And so did you also, because you mentioned being out in the streets with the, bullhorns or whatever. I mean, they did a lot of that back then.
Yeah.
Brother E.
Yeah.
And those guys just, I think they called them hit and runs back then.
Right. Yeah.
But you guys didn't get a chance to work together. You were just coming in. They were kind of
they was in the
sunsetting.
Bronx.
Yeah.
We was in Brooklyn.
Got it.
So like Higher Calling kind of became the Rap Fest of Brooklyn.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
And yeah, we was just doing our thing, like hitting the streets heavy, hitting the trains.
Yeah.
Real ministry. I was just thinking about that the other day, man. I was like, yo, we got to bring it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you think of through this year, is this year 15? I'm sorry.
Officially 14.
14 officially.
But
Okay.
we've been going since 09.
Okay.
But there was a couple of years we skipped, like obviously the pandemic year.
Got it.
And a couple other years. But
so officially 14.
Officially 14.
Okay. Give me a few examples, because I think these are helpful for sometime for people, of people's whose lives and or trajectories were changed at a Kingdom Choice Award.
Oh wow, there's quite a few. There's been a few. I remember Selah the Corner. Selah. I know Bizzle knew of him before that, because I think they had a little bit of a run-in. But he's seen Selah perform.
Got it.
At a KCA. And I think that was what may have sealed the deal. Like,
yeah.
I want that dude on my roster. AI too. AI.
Okay.
Jared Sanders.
Wow. Wow.
There's been
I think Bizzle owes you several A&R fees.
Yeah, right.
Where's that commission, bro?
Yeah, I mean, again, I could be wrong, but based on things that I've heard, like, there's even like Jared All-Star. Jared was like bubbling, kind of. But once he hit that KCA stage,
I'm gonna tell you something. When him and Lady Davina hit it, what was that? Was that in 23?
Yes. Yeah.
Man, that set.
Yeah.
That
was in the top 3.
That set
hands
was
down.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's from there.
Yeah.
It was like I see the trajectory for both of them. But yeah, quite a lot of artists, man.
Yeah.
Like, ooh. And that's why with the KCA, we've always kind of set it as a stage where, you're going to have the names.
Yeah.
But there's always going to be a couple there that one may not know.
Right.
But when
you'll
see
know
them,
after that night.
You'll understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you get into the video production aspect of what you do?
Yeah, that came from in the early days of me starting to promote events. And one year, I got a videographer. I said, hey, I want you to do a promo for me. For a Higher Calling. This promo was the longest promo, I think, in history. I think it's like a short movie. I'm telling you, I think it's about 8 minutes long.
Really?
Yeah. But we did that, and it was effective, though.
Yeah.
It was effective. Got people out. And I was like intrigued by the whole video promo, part of promoting events.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I've got to learn this. So at the time, I started messing with Windows Movie Maker.
Gotcha.
Which is a basic editing software that used to come with most Windows laptops. And again, just started to learn the concept of editing through Windows Movie Maker. and started learning from there. And then from there, it just went on. Started messing with Premiere Pro and After Effects, and then it just grew from there.
Yep.
Just grew from there, and I just continued to learn and grow and develop the skill of editing and the passion for it.
Yeah.
And it was tough in the beginning because, like, the same guy who did the promo for me for my first event, I'd call him and ask him questions and be like, "Hey, I made this video, but I exported it in AIVR.
Yeah.
No, AVI, which is a massive format. You don't ever export a project in that format. That's not for YouTube. It's not for nothing like that you can like really use.
Just too big, the files.
Too big.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, hey, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe, try something else.
Right.
But you knew. So it'd be kind of like, hey, me a little bit.
He's not going to help the up-and-coming competition. Right.
And I'm like, you know what? But I learned over the years, man, and developed a passion for it.
That's good. I mean, it shows up in your production, right? Because, I mean, you don't have to be behind the camera anymore, but you're directing and you have an expectation of the output. And so it shows up. I'm sure Baron loves that about you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Baron's my guy. I love that dude to death, man. Like, Baron, because Baron, like, obviously he loves video production. Baron just buys stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I told him, I said, Baron, you should just start a rental company and just rent out equipment. You've got so much stuff.
Does he?
Yeah, oh my gosh. Baron has like a warehouse of stuff, man. But yeah, with Baron, we make a great team.
Yeah.
Because he admires my work. And Baron is teachable as well.
Yeah.
And at the same time, there's things that I learned from him. Yeah. There's little like me, I'm very manual. Like Baron will use a software to do something.
Got it.
Me, I'm doing it myself.
Got it.
The pros and cons to it.
Sure.
Obviously, when you do it manually, it takes a little longer.
Right.
But it's more
the
precise.
Precision.
Yes.
The precision.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With software, though, if it's a good one, it saves you a ton of time. And what took me 3 hours to do, you can do it in maybe 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you can check the spots. You can do some spot checking on the
Exactly.
precision pieces. I mean,
so Baron's amazing, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
What made you create the night before event? So you think you got bars?
We did a few pre-shows before, right? And with the team, team members would always be like, you know what? And not even just team members, people, outside of the team would be like, hey, you should make it a weekend thing instead of just doing the one main event on a Saturday. So instead of just doing like the KCA, make it a KCA weekend.
Gotcha.
So that was it. So we did a few like pre-shows before, which were great.
Yeah.
But then we wanted to like reintroduce something new. And I just came up with, okay, let's do a competition because people love competition.
Absolutely.
So you think you got bars. And the first year we were supposed to do, if you remember, there was a bad storm.
Yes.
So we had to cancel
That's right. I forgot about that. Yes.
So we brought it back last year.
Yeah.
And it was a success. Man.
Yeah.
It was a success. Like just the energy, the tension, the vibe.
Absolutely.
It was exciting. And that stamped it. I was like, you know what, we just gotta make this the pre-show.
Both nights are you've heard me say this several times. To me, it's a family reunion.
Yes,
right.
Most definitely.
I mean, both. It's just listen, man. There's few spaces you can go to, and again, not to take anything away from anyone. It's always cool to go somewhere and there's a carve out for you. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And you can be in a carve out. That's cool. Right. Yeah. But it's a carve out. It's different when you go somewhere and the whole thing is for you.
Exactly.
It's just different from the time you land on the scene. Yeah. This is all for the taking.
That's us,
right? It's almost like being a vegan and you go into a big cafeteria, and there are 20 dishes and there's 3 for you, right? Versus the whole thing is a vegan thing. And that, by the way, I'm not a vegan, so anybody coming here, do not bring me vegan dishes, bro. If you're gonna show up, I eat plenty meat, plenty protein. But that's just an example. And so that being said, both nights feel that way, but the Friday event affords you more time to connect.
Definitely.
Right? I mean, it is an award show on Saturday, so you have the red carpet and that time, et cetera. You know, depending on who you are, you're in different spaces and talking, and even afterwards. But we usually end at what, 9:30, 10 o'clock?
10 o'clock.
By 10 o'clock. So it's kind of late. You know, we figured out where to go and eat. I'm not giving out all the details where we go to eat afterwards.
Right.
But Friday night, just by the way it's set, there's a lot of time to just connect with people.
Yeah.
So I love that, man. Definitely. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it's dope.
Yeah, and it helps as well. Like especially like for people who fly in or come into town from the Friday. Yeah. You know, it definitely, you can see by the Saturday, everyone's gelled a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Like I saw like when like High Def and you know, some of them who came in from the Friday.
Yeah.
The following day when I'm seeing them at the,
they're connected.
Yeah, like it's all love. Absolutely. And they chilling with everybody. They're connected. It's like, okay, beautiful. It's a good vibe.
It's a beautiful thing. Last year was really good, man. Between I was so happy for Lyracy and
Malachi.
Yeah. Woo, Malachi showed, but they both showed out.
Oh yeah,
they both showed out last year.
Architect as well.
Architect, yes. You know, High Def. I mean,
all of them.
All of them showed out, man.
Yeah. Q Flow.
Q Flow, bro, how can I forget Q Flow?
Heavy, like
bars.
I was like, when he kicked it off, I was like, everybody's in trouble tonight.
Everyone's hate game had to go up. I saw you could see the reactions around the room too, like, is that we're doing that tonight?
Right.
Yeah. So it was, but in so much love, and that's the thing I would highlight that when somebody when people don't understand and whether or not quote unquote hip hop can be redeemed. Yeah. Everything's created by the Lord. Yeah. First and foremost.
Of course.
You get what I'm saying? And so when we have these spaces that we're using forms of art. Yeah. But within this community, it's just different.
Right. It's true.
It's just different.
And the vibe, and we kind of create that as well. Like, I mean, people don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but we have a meeting with everybody, a Zoom conference with all the contestants, and we make it clear, man, this is good fun. This is a good fun competition.
Right.
You know, we don't want to see egos.
Right.
When we come there to Church City that night, that evening, you know, I don't want to see you over there and you over there. We can all be around the back. Even when we get there on the day of, we have a time around the back where, you know, there's little snacks and food and whatever. And then we have a prayer. We chop it up. So that spirit spills over into the actual event.
Absolutely.
So everyone knows, like, listen. Right. Let's have fun with
from the
this.
door. Absolutely.
Yeah, you know. So sometimes as leadership, you have to create that.
That's good.
And set the tone.
That's good
for the night.
You do a good job at that, bro. From the onset and at the end, and just making sure people know. What should people be most excited about this year coming to the KCAs?
Yeah, I would say this year, well, the lineup, man. We have a really dope lineup this year, and quite a few first timers. People who are making their KCA debut, like Derek Minor. We could call Derek a legend in the movement, man.
He is.
Yeah. Derek Minor. You know, Cannon. It's his first time coming to the KCA, and then we got like what I call the new hot boys.
Right.
You know, like Tory Deshawn. You know, making his KCA debut.
Young Chris.
Not Young Chris.
Not Young Chris. Don Reddy.
Don Reddy. You know, Don Reddy. Again, with Don Reddy, I love his story. Like,
absolutely.
You know, he has such a testimony.
Absolutely.
And that was one of the things that I really, because he reached out and I was like, we gotta figure this out.
Definitely.
Because his testimony alone is just powerful.
Definitely.
Like, when he comes, I'm expecting some oil to be on him. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, definitely.
And then we got like people like Prince Saj, who's representing heavy on the reggae gospel side of things, making huge moves. He was on the show with what's the name? One of the big iconic gospel artists in Jamaica. She did a show in Jamaica. My apologies for not remembering the name, but she was a part of that. He opened up for her. He's doing some great things. And just so many artists, man.
That's good.
Who are going to be on there. Toya Love, we just confirmed.
Absolutely.
Her, she's coming through.
Toya Love coming through.
Toya Love pulling up.
Okay.
And again,
Gifted Hands.
Gifted Hands. That's
Gifted
another
Hands
one.
Coming through.
Yeah, Gifted Hands. Such a great soul, man.
Yeah.
Talking to him, you know, if he hits me up on the text today, you know, it's like whatever the day is, it's happy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If it's Thursday, it's
he
like, yo, happy Thursday.
People,
he has a good energy.
Yeah.
Portia Love also making her KCA debut. So there's so many artists who would be touching the stage, and then also just honoring Bizzle.
Yes,
as somebody who has made an indelible impact in Christian hip hop.
That's good.
Because at first we was kind of like, hey, has he been around long enough? But then talking to people, they're like, it's a no-brainer. What are you talking about? Like,
absolutely.
And just not just the length of time, but what he brought to the space. Like, imagine Christian hip hop without God Over Money.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been a significant contribution.
Bizzle, I venture to say Bizzle has had the most thought-provoking song.
Yes.
Now, putting aside Lecrae's series of, deconstruction series, if you will, and things like that.
Yeah.
But put Church Clothes and all those to a side, because those to me were like faith-oriented exploration and rebuild, right?
Yes.
Bizzle's kind of cultural challenges that he issues in songs, bro, are some of the most thought-provoking.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and even have you on the edge of, is this still Christian hip-hop? Like, he goes just far enough into remind you of why it is, remind you of the Bible, God's promises. Like, he's one of the most on point.
There's none like him.
On point.
There's none like him. Like, I mean, there's those who are coming up behind him who are kind of following suit, but and no one can do it like this.
I was going to say, I'm sorry. I haven't seen anyone be able to do it like that yet.
The way he puts things together, like, it'll make you be like, wow, I never thought of it like that.
Right.
You know, and he's bold. He's very bold. Because a lot of times artists will think something, but they'll know this is absolutely not political. This is politically incorrect. You know, I will get blackballed. I will get all kinds of balled out of the industry, out of the movement, out of certain churches, out of certain, because of what I'm about to say.
Right.
But Bizzle, and I don't think he's just reckless and he's just a loose cannon.
Right.
No, he speaks the truth.
He speaks the truth. Absolutely.
He speaks the truth, and he does it without compromise, and I respect him for that. And like, Bizzle's been to the KCA so many times over the years. Remember one year he brought out the whole squad. This was like at that peak.
Yeah.
And for that, I have a tremendous amount of respect for him as well for that, because I believe that Bizzle has seen the value of what the KCA is to this community.
Yeah.
And he showed his gratitude towards it. I can't say me and Bizzle have a big relationship, like we talk on the phone. Nah, because Bizzle, if you know, he's a very quiet guy. And I know he keeps his circle fairly close. But solid brother, man.
Yeah,
and
really
he's
good.
worthy
really
of this honor.
I'm really excited for Derek to come through this year too, because I feel like Derek is he is, to me, a generational bridge for many, right? He crosses generations well. Some of us are cray, right? But we don't have many who cross generations.
Right.
Derek's different because of his what I'm looking for, how he engages.
Yeah.
He's you can see the intentionality of how he engages and teaches game.
Yes.
Right? Teaches how to do different things. And so he's unk for many.
Yeah. He's another one. He's on the honorary table, man. Yeah. For sure.
Absolutely. And so, and by the way, Max, I might not have told you this, Max, so you might be hearing this for the first time. The Monday following the KCAs, that Monday or Tuesday, Derek and Cannon are going to come through and be on live here too. So,
that's dope.
Yeah, it's going to be dope. It's going to be dope. Well, let me ask you this, bro. VIP tickets are sold out.
Yes.
So, So, but people can still get tickets in general seats.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. General admission is still available. And also group rate tickets are available. So listen, get your squad up, man.
Yeah.
People can get their squad up, youth groups, whatever, and say, hey, get 15 of us.
Yeah.
We get them tickets for $35.
Yeah.
Which is a great discount.
Well, how big does a group have to be? 10 or more?
I think it's 15.
15 or more?
Yeah.
And where do they go? What's the easiest way for them to get them?
Yeah, they go to they can either call the box office at Symphony Space, or they can just go online. But I believe for the
group tickets,
group rate, they have to call the box office.
But even so, they could even start online and they'll find that information.
Exactly. Yeah.
Y'all need to get y'all tickets and be done. I told you it's gonna sell out. I'm trying to tell you right now.
Yeah.
The last 3 years, I think it's been, you've tried to either say or infer that you may have to hang it up.
Yeah.
And a number of us, without even having to organize it, have stood in front of that and make sure that's not going to happen.
Right.
Like it's not happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so, and you haven't alluded to it this year yet.
Yeah.
But we're gonna tell you right now, one, it's not gonna. We're not gonna let it happen. But so let's go to the other side of it. Where do you see KCAs in 5 years?
Where I would like to see it in 5 years is just grow. I want to see it grow.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to get to a place where we have to be saying, if we're still at the symphony space, we have to be saying, hey, we gotta move.
Gotcha.
And seeing the team grow, where I want to see the KCA get to a place in 5 years, God willing, that it can run independently of me.
Mm-hmm,
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Where there's a team who can just run it.
Yeah.
And, you know, people like me and you can sit back and just be like, hey.
Yeah.
You know, and that's been a great thing. Like, even just to touch on the partnership with Holy Culture, man. Big game changes. Like, it reminds me of go back to the third year of the KCA when the South.com came on board as our featured media sponsors.
Yeah, my boy Z.
Z and Trey 9. And that was the catalyst that took the KCA from being a tri-state award show to a national award show and starting to get national recognition.
Right.
Fast forward to now, and again with Holy Culture has been supporting the KCA for like 8 years now as a sponsor.
Yeah.
And this year we locked in, and it took it from just being a sponsor to partnering with the KCA. And this now, again, is another catalyst that is taking the KCA to another level, exposing it to, you know, more people and getting us in rooms and places that we wouldn't have been able to get into without this partnership. So that's a blessing. And these are the things that happen that make me say, okay, Lord, I can't throw in the towel just yet.
You absolutely
even though
cannot.
I've been looking for my exit route for the last like 6 years.
Not happening.
But at the same time, it also gives me hope.
Yeah.
Like that partnerships like this are setting it up to where there's a possibility that I will be able to be like, hey, because again, Trick, man, and I've expressed this to you off air and I'll express it on here. You're somebody who I built a relationship over the years. We've developed this relationship, friendship, and I trust your heart.
Appreciate you.
You know what I'm saying? Because of that, I know if I was to, God gives me that green light, and I was to be like, there'd be no better hands for the KCA to fall into. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I say that, I know, Trick, you don't want it like that, but I know that you have the administrative skills, the vision, the relationships to make it happen.
I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying? So man, prayerfully, if God wills it, man, in 5 years, KCA will be bigger, better.
I have no doubt.
And you know
I have no doubt it'll be expanded. And you know what? I just want to take a moment too to thank some of the sponsors and the new sponsors. One, Curb Records, Jerry, Chelsea. Thank you guys for signing on. Reach Records, D Diaz and team for signing on. RMG, Doc Watson, Derek for signing on. I mean, so many new sponsors this year. Next year, I'm believing Walt and Drea at Capital Christian. I believe in y'all going to come in next year. And so just really thankful for people who see the vision, buying into the vision, investing in the vision.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So,
and that's huge. I don't, you know, echo your sentiments, man. Like, that has been huge for us. Because, like, every year is a faith walk for KCA. This year I was like, well, where the sponsors are going to come from this year? Because we depend on sponsorship. Because, you know, it's an expensive event. New York is expensive. Like,
and on Broadway.
And on Broadway. Upper Broadway and the theater spaces. Anyone who has rented a theater space, you know, there's a fee for everything. There's so much red tape. You know, like the guy who turns on the board. He gets paid a good amount of money per hour.
Union, probably.
Union, exactly. And Even though we bring our own sound guy,
he still has to be the one.
He has to turn.
He has to turn it on, bro. That will cost you.
Yes.
That finger push will cost you.
And after that, all he does is sit there
at union rate.
At union
for
rate.
Hours, bro.
For hours.
Right.
Same with the projector.
Right.
The projector technician.
Yeah.
All he's doing is turning on the projector and making sure the settings are right on the screen. He's not doing no projection.
That's union, bro. Yeah. That's how union works, man.
And that's it. So
I feel like they charge you for extra bathroom uses. After 50 people use the bathroom, there's now incremental fee, bro.
You gotta pay. So it's not cheap.
Yeah.
And I have had opportunities to do the KCA at churches.
Yeah.
That have lights and screens and so forth.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be the same experience.
Yeah.
And that's why I've always gone the route of doing the KCA in a theater space. So that our people, man, people who love Christian hip hop and the movement can come out and feel like they've really had a real, authentic award show experience.
Yeah, that's good.
And that's what the KCA is.
That's
KCA
good,
it's an experience.
That's so good. Listen, y'all, get your tickets now.
Yeah.
Go right now and get your tickets and be in a place. And come to, if you can, listen, I know travel is difficult. I get it. But if you can, I'm telling you, invest in Friday night too and be in there because it sets it up so well. And I mean, one of the things I think that happens sometimes in our culture, man, is the isolation. And there's nothing wrong with social media and being connected virtually,
right.
But physical connection is just different.
Yeah.
And you're only probably going to do it a couple times a year.
Yep.
Right, so make the most of it and maximize the travel if you're coming in and be there Friday night. And man, pull up and say what's up to a brother. You know what I mean? Like if you know if you're a holy culture person and supporter, pull up, say what's up, and don't let Marcus's assertiveness, aggressiveness, and all those things throw you off in the moment. He's a good brother, but he's got those tendencies every now and then to tell you to go kick rocks.
Hey, listen, I'm like Jesus. Jesus kept it real.
Bro, your story helped explain a lot because, we laugh about this a lot. Marcus is one of those dudes, man. I love you so much, bro, because I know exactly what I'm going to get from Marcus. If it turns sideways just a little bit, Marcus going to go, you know what, Trig? You know what, Trig? You tell him. When you say that, you know what, Trig?
You know what time it is.
I know what you come with. You know what you can tell him?
But you know what? This is why this partnership is so dope, because I think you are the perfect diplomat, man. You're so diplomatic. But I think I'm rubbing off on you a little too.
There've been a couple moments, bro.
Right.
There's definitely been a couple moments.
I think with you, you're like, hey, I see it in you sometimes where you're like, no, I'm not having that. But you're just so you just handle it better than I do.
No, I don't know if it's better, but it's just different.
Right.
It's just different. Yeah.
But it's needed, man. It's needed sometimes because in Christendom, we tend to not be honest at times. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes people need to hear just the plain truth. And
That's
even with
good.
like KC, like even just the other day, I had to like tell an artist, like, basically, you're not just gonna come and just do what you want to do. You wouldn't do this if it was the Grammys. You wouldn't do this if it was, the BET Awards. And that's what we have to change in our culture.
Absolutely.
We have to respect kingdom platforms more than mainstream platforms. Value them more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's sad. It's like, how are you valuing the mainstream platform? And I get it, like, carnally. I get it, like, it's mainstream. There's more viewers, there's more listeners, there's more. No, but we have to value our own.
Right.
So value Holy Culture Radio.
Yeah.
Value it.
Yeah.
Put some respect on it.
Yeah.
This is a big deal for us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Value the KCA.
Absolutely.
Value Flavor Fest. Value all these brands that are ours.
Right.
And support them fully. And don't treat them like some second-class thing. No. This is ours. So, yeah, that's my little vent.
No, but I think it's such a good point, man, that I've talked about continually. But I love the word choice of value. Yeah. And unfortunately, I do think that over the last several years, a lot of us have gotten into the space of looking for virality and pops.
Right.
Versus sustainability.
Yeah.
And building something that when you turn back and look at it, it's like, oh, yeah, we left it at this level and we can build it again.
Right.
When you have virality, you can have a pop-up like that, but then it's back like that in a short period of time.
Yep.
And now you're looking for your next one.
Exactly.
And it's like endorphin chasing.
Right.
Versus building something and you leave it today, you come back tomorrow. Right. And so my plea and what I employ people to think about is building something that you see as yours.
Yes.
And take that approach because it is yours.
Of course.
Right? We all are part of this ecosystem. And that's a whole nother thing. If you don't believe it's yours, let's have that conversation. But I will tell you it's yours and you're building for yourself and those you work with and those who are coming after you to have a higher level of ground each time. Right? And something that is vested, has been built for your investment.
Exactly.
Right.
So invest in it.
Yeah.
And that's so important, man, because that's how we, as a movement, as a people, push this culture forward.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to happen no other way.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how it will get to the level of what we call mainstream.
Right.
Because guess what? The value is going to go higher and higher and higher.
Absolutely.
You know, so listen, man, let's, put some respect on the kingdom, man. And stop playing.
And two, again, Marcus has a healthy impatience for people who don't see the value. Okay. He is a healthy impatience. Like if you don't, I do too. I'm just going to challenge you though to say, if you don't see the value, I would love you to email me or DM me that you don't see it. This is the other part of our ecosystem that I want to do better at. Even me personally.
Yes.
Before I disengage with someone to tell them what I thought could be better for me to want to invest in it.
Yeah.
Right? I think we do ourselves a disservice when we don't take that iron sharpen irons approach. So if you say, yo, I don't see that there for me to buy a ticket or for me to come or for me to travel out. Here's what I need to see.
Right. And that's important because then we know, or we might see something like, you know what? This can be improved in this area.
Right.
And I've had it. Don't get me wrong. There's been a couple people. Even recently, I got an email about a particular category.
Yeah.
And someone pointed something out. This is just a fan, a supporter.
Yeah.
And they pointed it out and I responded and I said, you know what? Thank you for your approach to this. We're going to make some adjustments. We're going to fix the error that was made. You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
And we handled it. And guess what?
That's good.
It was a good thing for us.
Mm-hmm.
But I respected the fact that this person took the time out, not just to bash what the error was or to put it out there for the world to see, but to like come directly to us and say, hey,
I think something's off.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
good.
And
they were correct.
That's good.
And that's fine because no matter what organization, or institution there is, there's going to be places where they need to improve. There's going to be things and there's going to be times where they might make an error.
Absolutely.
It's for you, the people who support whatever they're doing, to respectfully call it out and say, hey, you know what?
We get the same notes and emails, man. We're never done improving.
Nah,
we're never done.
There's always room for growth because there's no perfect human beings on the planet.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
Bro, thank you for coming down. Thank you for your continued leadership in this thing, man.
Thank you for having
you want
me,
to shout out anybody before we wrap, bro?
Yeah, shout out to Team KCA. Got to shout out my team. Amazing, affable group of people. Tabitha,
bless you for dealing with this, brother.
Yo, Tabitha, we call her boss lady, and my team love her because she like Tabitha came on like about 2-3 years ago. But Tab is but I love her for it. Tabitha is the only person who would G-check me
in a minute,
and she'll be like, "Yo, Marcus, what are you doing?
Yeah,
didn't I say that you should go this route with it?" She's like my big sister,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
She even says to me, "Trick, don't pay Marcus any money right now." He
yeah, but you know what? She's needed.
Yeah,
and I love her to death, man, because she loves. I know, when you know somebody loves you.
That's it right there.
Somebody loves you. Somebody respects you. Somebody's there, just as your best interest at heart. That's Tab. Absolutely. So big up to Tab. Evie, who is the new managing director Amazing. She
Nice.
came on as a volunteer like this a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I saw leadership in her right away.
That's dope.
And she's just amazing because she's from corporate.
Yeah.
And her approach is corporate, very detailed.
Nice.
And all the team, Bree, director of hospitality.
Yeah.
Baron, director of photography.
Yeah.
And all the team, man. All team KCA. We have a great team. This does not happen without their full support. And Courtney McNeil as well, got to shout him out. And even those who's passed and like moved on to other things. Tara Udovic, she was the managing director before, did great things to help build the infrastructure of the KCA, and also her husband Ruben, who was the lead stage manager. Big shout out to them as well. I miss them. But there was a blessing.
A lot of people who've been a part of this, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, let me shout out Lish Speaks, too. Lish, Lish has been involved this year, helping from the Holy Coaches side. Shout out to Lish.
Lish is great. And shout out to Church City as well.
Of course.
Pastor Rich and the crew. Yeah, the whole squad at Church City, a bunch of people volunteer from Church City, and everybody involved.
Shout out to Max. Max is going to be making sure we can do that live stream this year.
Yeah. Yep. We're working,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, listen, this has been another live Kingdom building conversation, if you will, / Quilling Solutions / I don't know, whatever we want to call it. But Marcus Hall is in the house, y'all. Until next time, keep it locked.